Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boys Podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst Boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Or whatever.
How about this, Cowboys?
What's going on, Cowboys Nation? Another episode of Jersey Boys Podcast is on the air. Dave Sturchio alongside, of course, nationally known comedian Brett Ernst, and, of course, the Grinch, Keith Ernst, America's fan.
America's fan. Thank you. Come on now.
I got you, bro. I got you, guy. Jesus Christ.
And you got nationally tour. You got locally touring Keith Ernst over here. So
that's true. That's true. Locally touring comedian Keith Ernst. I see the flyers, bro. I see the flyers. And one day, sporadically, I had this vision one day that one day I'm going to show up at one of your shows. Like, I don't know how, but just I always go to Brett's and shit. And, yeah, just fly out to LA for a day and
for some shitty bar I'm doing.
some
Keith,
VFW.
Sturch won't you won't surprise him because you don't pay for tickets. Sturch is gonna hit you up and he'll be like, yo.
Listen. All right, you know what? Fair point. I can't even argue that.
Come on, let's go. Let's talk about the real generic.
Anyway, listen, it's good that we're all smiling and laughing right now because Sunday, none of us were smiling and laughing as the Dallas Cowboys get completely run out of their own stadium again. And I say again because the last time we played a meaningful home game, not preseason, we got the shit kicked out of us by Green Bay, and now it happens again with the Saints. The Cowboys are now, as we record this, it's Tuesday night. This will go up probably Wednesday morning, early-ish. So they're already back at practice coming Wednesday. A couple things to talk about with that. But first, we'll start with the game. Keith, we all picked the Cowboys to win, right? We all did. So it's not like it was a total. I mean, I guess it was a total shock. But when you get punched in the mouth like that, Keith, to start the game, did you kind of already get that, oh no, here we go kind of thing? Or how long did it take for you to realize this was going to get out of hand?
It's funny because in my prediction, you're right. We all picked them to win. I'm the only one that said the Saints would cover. I thought that possibly that.
Wait, did they cover?
I thought that possibly, if you guys, I went back and listened. I said they were going to jump all over us and then we'd come back. I didn't think they'd jump on us like that. But honestly, right, before I go, I'm just curious. I want to hear what you guys have to say before I go, if that's okay.
Sure. Right. I'll kick it off. Yeah, no, listen, as soon as they hit that early punch in the face, I was like, okay, as long as we come out there and respond, it'll be one of those games, right? Just right off the rip. That's how I felt like that was going to go because look, the Saints are now 2-0. They do have some firepower. And the one thing they have that a lot of teams lack sometimes is over-the-top speed. So if you're able to hit a 70-yard whatever, in these long, these short drives, it kind of gave me the feeling okay, this is not the way I thought this was going to go. And then, oh, by the way, Alvin Kamara is the Alvin Kamara of, 3-4 years ago where he was just dicing up the league. And it just kind of got away from us very, very fast. And I felt like if we didn't respond right away, it was going to get away from us even faster. And it did. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed, Brett. This is one of those games. I know you were comparing it to the Green Bay game, and I know what you were going for. In regards to the way we were being handled, not so much like the logistics of it, meaning we're going to lose and the seasons will be over. But go ahead.
2 of our last 3 games were the most dismal performances. There's really some bad takes from this. And dude, first off, I thought they jumped up. It was all right, they our defense had to figure it out. The speed did kill us, but every drive they scored a touchdown except for 2. One was a field goal and another was a punt in the fourth quarter. We got some serious issues on defense, man. And there's more to that too. I know people online were blaming Dak. Dak did not have a great game, okay? But he wasn't the reason we lost. But he didn't play great. And our rushing offense was fucking abysmal. Our rushing defense was fucking awful. Our ability to stop the big play is, we couldn't stop They had like 4 big plays, man. I mean, just blew us wide open, no coverage. I don't know where to begin. I don't know if it was what Zimmer called. I don't know if it's the fact that our linebackers are just still the same. That our corners are strong, but we couldn't stop the underneath. They were beating us on posts. I mean, it was just awful. The only
what's crazy?
saving grace is the Eagles lost. That's the only thing that lessens this sting.
It always takes this thing out when the whole entire NFC East can lose at the same time. Other than the Redskins beating the Giants. But before I get to Keith, it's so funny because Brett, you almost didn't have to say anything in that moment where I gave it to you to kind of give me the rhetoric of what just happened. I could have copied and pasted your reaction to the Packer game, and it sounded identical. You know what I mean? Like, couldn't stop anybody, couldn't do this. Like, it was just
here's another huge red flag. Okay. We were worse on third down conversions. Only 28% we converted on third down.
Well, believe it or not, that's an increase from last week from the Browns game. That is actually did better on third down. I'm just letting you know that's stats.
Yeah, but that statistic comes to play if we score on second down or if we go for it on you know what I mean?
I know. I get
it. That's a fucking huge red flag for our offense. 28% on third down conversions. It's bad. And don't even get me started on the refs. Well, go ahead, Keith.
Keith, how about
I fucking refuse to talk about the offense because they were nowhere near the problem. Okay, I can't even believe people saying that the offense played off. No, okay. Let fucking Patrick Mahomes deal with what we dealt with. Okay, let other quarterbacks deal. Dak Prescott scored on 5 out of 6 fucking drives. I don't care if there were field goals or not. And the one drive he didn't score on, Jalen Brooks fell down, and that was an interception. He would have scored on his first 6 drives. No offense had to deal with what Dak Prescott had to fucking deal with, and that was an atrocious, embarrassing piece of shit, fucking trashy defense. The same defense we saw in Green Bay, which Brett's right, it's the exact same thing. I went back and looked this up. Okay, this is insane, fucking insane, and there's no team. This has never happened, I'm telling you right now. The first 3 quarters of a football game matters the most. Because in the fourth quarter, they're play. All right, the first 3 quarters of the Green Bay Packer game, okay, they scored touchdowns on 5 of their first 6 drives. The first 3 quarters in this game, they scored six touchdowns on 6 of their first drives. That's 11 fucking touchdowns out of 12 drives, guys. Are you fucking kidding me? Nothing has changed. And, I took some heat and I said I owned it, and I did own it last week. But that's the fucking defense I thought we were going to see right there. That defense that came out, look, they went against a broken Deshaun Watson who played a lot better this week because he hadn't played in 10 fucking games. And I also brought up the drop passes, and they abandoned the run way too early, Cleveland, because they didn't have Nick Chubb. That's our defense. And they were awful. Fucking awful. And look, I don't care what happens with I don't care. I'm not falling for it because this is what they do. Okay, this happened 3 times last year. Arizona, 49ers, and the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry, 4 times. And the Green Bay Packers.
No, and the Eagles.
Supposedly an elite defense, or we're top 5. 4 fucking, you can't tell me a defense that's an elite defense where they let someone do that to you 4 times in one season. We already got 1 down. I don't know. I don't know what's next. You shouldn't have to get it. And the thing that really fucking pissed me off, and I'm this, and Kendricks is playing great. I went back and watched the game, okay? This is kind of shocking. Overshown only played 17 plays, which I thought was kind of weird, okay?
I'll tell you why in a second. Go ahead.
Okay, Damone Clark led us in tackles, which is not good. I still say he is the weakest linebacker because when Damone Clark is tackling people, it's down the field, all right? So I think they were running towards him a lot. That's from what I saw. And Kendricks had a terrible game, man. I know he had a great first game. Terrible game. He looked tired. He looked like, geez, what did I sign on to type thing. The D-line was getting blown up. And the only thing that bothered me, and then I'll let you go, okay? The only thing that bothered me was –
This is the only thing?
Well, it was a lot. But post-game is what Kendrick said. When he said, oh, well, we needed that. We needed a slice of humble pie. Humble? What the fuck are you humble about? We're awful. Our defense got lit up at home in Green Bay. What, off of one game? Do you think opening game's a fucking Super Bowl and now you guys are just the best defense in the NFL? I'm your humble pie. Fucking awful.
Listen,
Sorry.
all right. So just based on that, the Overshawn thing, I questioned that on Twitter. I said, somebody please explain to me why he played 17, 18 snaps out of this game when clearly he was our best linebacker on the field in week 1. So the response I got from the X's and O's people is that he is not in our base defense. Like, he is not the starting linebacker in our base defense. And a lot of the Saints ran off our base defense. So we just didn't have the schematics to put him in. Now, I am on team put in your best fucking players on the field.
Absolutely, bro.
Like, what are we doing? Like, tell me, and I was going to ask you both this because you guys both played defense at a higher level, right? If let's just say you're not the safety and you're the who played corner, who played linebacker? You, right, Keith?
I played linebacker. Brett played linebacker, but he played.
Okay, so but my question to you guys is this: if you're the best linebacker on your team, and the coach brings you out based off of we're running this scheme right now, so come on off the field. Aren't you like, wait, no, I'm the best fucking tackler you have on this team. So why am I off the field? The fact that I understand Overshawn is a 2-year guy and he's still a kid and like he probably doesn't have a voice yet to say anything like that. But for Christ's sakes, enough with the analytics, enough with this. Oh, this is our scheme, so he doesn't fit here. No, it's Demarion Overshawn, the same guy that tracked down fucking Deshaun Watson last week as our fastest and most effective linebacker. Miss me with
who's the linebacker?
This is in our scheme. Huh?
Well, who is it? It's Damone Clark, Kendricks, and who? And
Parsons.
Okay, so the two. So okay, that's because Luafu. He comes in. He's not part of the base.
He's a sporadic guy too, but again,
he's
Pro Football Focus does their grading every week. We didn't have a guy graded higher than Micah Parsons, and I believe Micah Parsons was like a 79 or 80 or something like that. But even Micah Parsons, I told my dad, we're sitting there watching the game. He goes, "How many times have you heard his name called?" I was like, "Not enough," right? And it's like that's the worry I have. And I understand they love to throw this generational talent thing at us. And I'm well aware that he's so good when he's rushing that quarterback. But man, when he's not on his like A game, has a sack and a half early, that dude just, I don't know, man. He's just not there. And again, I love him as a player. I think he's fantastic. But boy, how many times have we had these conversations where it's like, hey, where's Micah? You know what I mean? Like, and again, I'm not about to be like, well, he's doing his fucking podcast. I don't care about that shit anymore. I don't care. Let him go play. Like, it's a player's day off. Let him do whatever the fuck you want. Some people play Call of Duty. Who cares, right? Like, I don't care. He wants to talk shit. Let him talk shit. But you got to back it up. You got to back it up. And the only one that took accountability for all of this shit was actually Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer brought up Keith, maybe you can refresh my memory. The pickle juice game.
Oh, bro, remember I brought that up to Brett when we were talking. He's like, what? I said, didn't I say that, bro? That this game reminded us. He goes, what does this remind you? I said, the pickle juice game. I was like, you remember opening game?
What does that even mean? I was alive to that.
We were dominated on both sides of the ball when Mike Zimmer was our defensive coordinator, just like that. It was like the exact same thing. Deuce Staley.
What the fuck is that going to do with pickle juice?
Because Deuce Staley was drinking pickle juice on the sideline from cramping up in the game, and our defense was awful. And Zimmer bounced back and gave us one of the greatest defenses for the next few years from that game.
He said that. He said, you know, the pickle juice game. He goes, if I didn't rebound after the pickle juice game, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you right now.
He's right. Yeah, so, we got dude.
Yeah, and the Cowboys historically, we've seen it in the past, the Mike McCarthy era at least. Historically, after they get punched in the fucking face like this, they come out swinging. The only problem is the opponent next time is also searching for their first win of the season. So good Lord. Like, I'm not happy about it.
You're itching over there.
No, I think, again, we have a lot of team problems, and offense definitely has to be addressed. And again, you can't just say it's one problem. I mean, this is the obvious problem is the defense, right? We had 3 chances to at least get back in the game. We blew all 3 chances. You also had the play calling. I don't know why when it's 3rd and 4. Remember when he rolled out and threw on the, I don't know, it was just either a bad pass or he wasn't covered. He had to get rid of it. And then you throw again on 4th down. Why don't you just run the ball twice? If you know you need to get 4 yards and you're going to go for it, you might as well just run it. But the team overall, I mean, again, offense did not play that great. And if you go back and look, that third down conversions was a big deal. Settling for field goals is a big deal. When it's 7, I think that is 7-3, 14, 21, 28. Okay, you need to get in the fucking end zone.
Well, bro, that's
we're not playing. Listen, I'm not saying we're placing blame. I'm not saying
it's irrelevant. The offense played good enough to fucking win.
No.
That's what you want from an offense.
No,
I don't understand why we're talking about them.
Because there's some concerns, bro.
Yeah, I get that, but go look in every game that you see. Every single game, nobody had.
Did I interrupt you when you were fucking screaming? Just let me talk.
No, and I'm still screaming. I just don't understand why. Just go. Why?
Yeah.
What do you mean why?
No,
I'm your
saying
why. I'm fucking amped. I'm pissed.
Yeah, well, relax. Let me make my fucking point. We got a whole season ahead of us. Okay, we have a whole season. Now, obviously, the defense fucking shit the bed, but we got some problems on offense too. And I don't understand. Number one, I personally think we need to start Zeke. I don't see Rico being the number one back. With Zeke in the backfield, he's better in the flats, better blocker, runs harder. It should be the other way around.
Well, just so we're clear, Rico Dowdle had 7 carries for 30 yards. Zeke had 6 carries for 16 yards. So
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Listen,
68
yards. Listen, as a team, 68 yards rushing. As a team.
Yeah, I know.
So there is a problem on the offense, and it's the running game.
Listen, it's 68 yards rushing because we have to pass all the fucking time because our defense can't stop anybody.
Oh, nobody's disagreeing with you, you fucking maniac. Nobody's saying it's not the defense did great. We can talk about the defense the whole fucking time.
I don't understand your point with the offense. You know what? I'll agree with you. We do have problems with our offense, okay? You know what we have problems with our offense? I'll tell you why. We can't score touchdowns on every fucking drive to keep up with our defense. You tell me a goddamn team in the NFL that scores touchdowns every drive to keep up with the other team.
Okay, let me make my point. We don't have problems. There's no problems. There's concerns. Okay? Now,
sure.
When you're looking at our third down conversions, it's fucking awful. Now, that happened against, like you brought up against Cleveland. I didn't even look that up. That's a fucking 28%. So basically, we're either settling for field goals or, both teams only punted once, right?
Yeah.
Now, Dak played okay. He played subpar. He didn't play great. Then at the same time, when you're up by a lot, now what Keith said is correct. You're not running as much. You're going to have to pass. There was some bad decisions, man. Our offensive line let them in. I don't know. Dak got sacked how many times?
A bunch.
Like 3?
3.
Well, once again, I just also want to double down. Cooper Beebe did not allow another pressure, so that's I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, so we had
Cooper Beebe, by the way.
We had New Orleans Saints pressuring Dak, sacking him 3 times. We couldn't run the ball. We had 28% fucking third down conversions. That's scary. Now,
look.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I'm waiting for you're done just to destroy you. So go ahead.
There's nothing to destroy because we're all in agreement. I mean, if you want to keep bringing
it at all, I'm far from agreement with what you're saying, bro.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm gonna just break this down real quick. And when he says, I agree with Brett in the concerns department. Not like, oh man, it's the offense. We got it. They stink. It's not. It is concerning when you don't have a logical running back that can run the rock, right? But that goes out the window when you're getting punched in the fucking face every drive on defense, where you can't run the ball anymore. And that's just math, right? And there's only so many drives. You can't just. You have to capitalize when your defense is completely ruining this game in a bad way. Because sometimes, when you hear the word ruin, it's like, yeah, they ruined it in a good way. When the defense can't stop anything, the running game goes out the window. And the other issue that I have is the fact that Dak Prescott, outside of CeeDee Lamb, doesn't have another playmaker that he can rely on
either. I don't know, bro. Did you see Jalen Tolbert's catch? That was fucking sick.
Jalen Tolbert.
We got players.
We got players. But
you're not going to listen, Search. You're not going to have a playmaker in every position. He's got CeeDee Lamb.
I'm not asking for a playmaker in every position.
I mean,
I'm
we got
asking
good
for
players.
Why is it? It's not all or nothing. It's not a black and white discussion. We
but
know
what I'm
we got
saying is
problems on defense. We have some concerns on offense. Even if you're looking at the Cleveland game, we didn't.
But again,
okay.
To Keith's point, you can't even talk about the offense when your defense just can't stop anything. You can't.
Guys, well, bro, no, wait. Let me say something real quick. Listen to me, bro. First 5 scores on the first 6 drives. Okay, Dak Prescott had. All right. We already said that the one drive that was an interception, okay, wasn't his fault. No, it was not his fault at all. Jalen Brooks.
Brooks
fell. Do you guys know what that 7th drive was?
Go ahead.
He drove down the field 59 yards, and guess what? He had to go for it on 4th down. You know why he had to go for it on 4th down? Because our defense couldn't stop shit.
Oh my God.
Whether you kick field goals or not. I know, but dude, there are teams that win by kicking. We've done it before. Back in the day, Lynn Elliott kicked 7 field goals and beat the Green Bay Packers 21-0 because our defense.
That was my man. That was my man, Chris Bone. You'll put some respect on him.
Oh, sorry, Chris Bonio. But that's because our defense could step up. I don't care. And the last, let me say one more thing, bro. And this is what I think everyone's missing.
I'm gonna let you talk, and then you let me talk.
Okay. Ahead. McCarthy has specifically come out and said what this offense is, and he said it more than once. Okay. This offense is meant to eat the clock. It's not meant to score right away. Okay.
Bill Parcells.
Well, no. McCarthy has come out and said that he wants the defense to rest. I've said,
it's very similar to Bill.
But like I've said, hearing McCarthy, well, can you have Bill Parcells? Have you heard him say that? Like come out of his mouth that he wants the defense to rest? Because what I'm saying is, okay, McCarthy came out and said this. He literally said that our offense is not meant to score a lot of points. So he's already saying that, look, we're going to kick field goals here. We're going to have long drives here. That's how this offense is made up. That's how it's made up. And they did their job plus, okay, of what McCarthy said the offense should be.
And not to mention, you have a weapon in Brandon Aubrey.
Exactly. And that's another thing. Did you notice?
You're missing my whole point. But
did you notice that what the Saints did on every kickoff?
Yeah, kicked it away from fucking Turpin.
No. On their kickoff return.
Yeah, they downed it. They didn't return.
We never returned one, even when they could. They took the ball on the 30 every single time.
All right, I'm going to try and get this point. I'm going to try and get this point out again. Okay. Now, we all agreed that the Cleveland game was great. Our defense played phenomenal. Okay. Our offense did their job against the number 1 defense, but we didn't really look that great. Now, again, what he said about we're meant to run the clock out. So basically, if that's our offense, and all you got to do is jump up on us by 21 points, and then we'll just take our time and settle for field goals.
That's what he says. That's what he wants.
Okay, but I'm saying is he's got to change the philosophy then.
Then fine. But I mean,
I don't want to spend this much time on the offense because we're looking at this as a whole team. And by the way, this team is not built differently. This team. I'm glad this happened now instead of week 7 or 8 when I'm start believing my own bullshit. Mm-hmm. We have the play calling was suspect. Okay. Again, we could talk. We know what defense did. We saw it. And by the way, if they want to rest, they did a great job. Just let them score on the first fucking 3 plays so we can rest.
But now the offense is tired.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's
you're looking at this as a team play. As a team play. I also don't understand why there wasn't one of those pass interferences called on our fucking receivers. Now, it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game. We were getting dominated anyways. But that catch, what's his name had? The Jalen had? Dude, he was getting mauled. And then the helmet to helmet, what they did to CeeDee Lamb, that's what the rule is in place for. And then they called us on a suspect fucking on Jordan Lewis to give them a first down and keep their drive going. But
Do you know?
The point is,
fun-
we couldn't get a drive going. We couldn't stop we couldn't get in the end zone, and we couldn't stop them.
Fun fact. The only time that I got verbally angry to the point where my kids kind of looked at me like, "Is he okay?" Like, was the hit on CeeDee Lamb. I was like, "You dirty piece of shit!" Like, you launched at him, and there was no call. And again, Brett's right. Ain't gonna change it. We ain't gonna win that game regardless. No. But like, they better nip that shit in the bud.
I'll just say this. I think we have a subpar offense. And I think we have we look like the third worst team in the NFL. And technically it's 2 out of the last 3 fucking games. And our last 2 home games were exactly the same performance.
This is why I was laughing last week when you were praising us, bro. And you made fun of me because I knew I could see that
the Saints to win.
No, I'm just saying though. I could see that, but I didn't praise them. You guys were praising them. That's the difference.
Listen, I will concede. I will continue to be excited.
I said it's okay to be excited. That's what I said. It's okay to be excited.
Bro,
but praising and saying this team's different and oh man, I love this kid and that kid and blah 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 blah. I knew this was coming. I just didn't think it was coming this soon.
Okay.
Right.
I concede with Keith. Keith said it was the same old team. I thought we improved on defense. Our rush defense got worse. Mm-hmm. If we're looking at the last 2 games, right? Our rush defense got worse. Our fucking secondary couldn't cover big plays.
Yeah,
our third down
they rushed for 190 yards.
Our fucking third down efficiency is a D-. All right. Now, all right. Do we have Ferguson? No, you can roll your eyes. That shit matters.
But that shit matters. We were still driving and scoring points, bro.
Yeah, but if you're not getting in the end zone, it doesn't matter.
I'll tell you, a good point would be the opening game against Tampa. Okay. That was all Dak, and that was all the offense back 2 years ago when we watched it in Vegas. Offense, that was all offense, not defense. I would not blame the defense at all. Now, someone could blame the defense for them scoring 19 points.
Why do you keep making it about blame? Why aren't you just listening to what if we were running?
Because there is a blame. There's a main reason why we lost the game. I'm blaming the defense. I can blame the defense.
We're all in agreement. I'm moving on to the fact that we have more red flags to look at. That's all I'm saying.
I'll tell you,
motherfucker. Shut the fuck up, bro. If we were running a bit,
you talk too. You just like to talk as much as I do.
I sat here quiet. And you can't let me just get my point out. And what happens is I gotta rush through it because I know you're gonna interrupt me. I'm not placing blame on the offense. I'm saying we got some concerns we need to address. All right.
Okay.
We got some concerns. And even when you're looking at the Cleveland game, we were still, I personally was so excited. I was disappointed we didn't see Overshown a lot out there. I was still wondering, where was he? I thought he was hurt at one point, which was ridiculous. We got to keep him in the game, keep Micah at the fucking end position. But if we were running a business, okay, if we were running a business, we know we would say, okay, we're not making a profit here, but we're hemorrhaging here. And if we don't address these issues down the road, okay, we're going to have some fucking problems. And I don't know where to start. I don't even know if the defense is fixable. He brought up a good point on the text. Maybe it's the personnel. Because last week we were talking about, last year it was like maybe Zimmer fucking had the wrong, he overcoached it. That was what I thought. I didn't know where to go. But then now you're seeing the same performance with Zimmer's defense.
Exactly. Like maybe it's the, and I don't mean to put anyone down, but you do have football smarts. Maybe it's the intelligence on our defense because we know we have the talent. And you have 2 great defensive coordinators in Quinn and Zimmer, and they did the same thing over and over again. It's like that's like I said. Well, 11 in 12 drives, guys, in the last 2 games at home. That's
the only way. Listen, the only way this entire conversation gets rectified is if they go out and play Baltimore hard, right? And you're like, oh, because now they're coming in with the best of the best when it comes to running, right? It's Lamar Jackson and it's fucking Derrick Henry, right? It's a guy that's going to be a load to take down, right? They've already come out and said that both. You would think both, but Micah Parsons is going to spy Lamar, and that's a job for Overshawn because I think he did well doing that with Watson, right? I think that would be fantastic if we can try to get at the quarterback and have Overshawn on the field at the same time, right?
We also
That
have
makes
to
sense.
bring up our interior. Look, here's my concern. I think our secondary's fine. Okay. I think that our linebacking core again, and I thought we addressed the football coach with with Hendricks or Kent with what's his name when we got him. But our D line, I don't even if I watch, when I watch the game again, which is almost fucking horrible to watch, we had no real pressure up the middle. And we couldn't stop the speed around the ends.
Yeah,
that's why Overshown is important. You put Mike at one end and then Overshown at the other. We kept losing containment. I don't know how much Nealon played. D-Law was almost fucking obsolete.
I would say that I have to disagree again, bro. I think our secondary was bad, man. I bet even on that bomb that Carr threw second touchdown, first play of the second drive, we gave him pressure. He got hit by Parsons at the same time. Wilson got beat, dude. Both of them got beat. And not only that, bro, their tackling has been piss poor. That Kamara screen where literally no one could tackle in the secondary. We got issues there too. And I think they were picking on
where the safeties were.
I know. I think they're picking on Carson or Kaysen, whatever his name is, too. He didn't have the best game.
And again, that to me, that's malpractice. And I understand we talked to Jesse Holley right before the season started. He said Carson, they're really big on him. They're high on him. And Al Harris is big on him. Listen, he's a kid, right? And we're doing the whole trial by fire thing. And I even said, I was watching the game with my dad and my brother. I was like, if Bland is in the game, I don't see this going any other way either. I just think that we got picked apart in every way you could get picked apart.
But I didn't think when you guys where was our safeties though? I didn't see anybody over the top.
Donovan Wilson got burnt on one touchdown. So it's like they're and that's an issue because it's like, okay, if you get pressure on the quarterback, that's going to lead to some shitty throws.
Absolutely.
It wasn't as if Carr was even shook at a certain point. He just sat back and launched. And I'm talking, all he had to do was throw it up to Shaheed, and he's got 2 steps on our guy. So as far as the corners and the secondary, they got a fucking DF grade for me.
I agree.
Well, no, but personnel-wise, but here's the crazy part. All the top 5 teams in the NFC lost, right? Now, if you remember, I picked the Saints to win the South. Derek Carr is usually great the first 8 games of the season, and then he usually falls off for some reason.
It was terrible.
I didn't see Minnesota winning, right? But Detroit, Dallas, San Francisco, and Philly all lost. Our loss, though, the way we lost, okay, that we look like the Carolina Panthers. At least the other teams got beat. You saw what happened with last night at the game. That was neck and neck. Atlanta was playing their balls off. That's the type of game where you're like, okay, we can bounce back. Here's the question, and I'll start with Keith. What do we do to fix it? I mean, I don't even know where the problem is.
I think I was about to cut you off, and I'm glad you finished what you said because I was going to say the same thing. You're right. All 5 teams lost, but they lost the way teams should lose. Like that's last night. I saw on one of the Dallas Cowboys, they're making fun of the Eagles. Oh, look at this comedy show. That's what it said. Comedy show last night. I'm like, are you kidding right now? Right? Like that's how you lose a game. If you're going to lose a game, that's how you lose in the NFL. No, I'm serious, Sturch. I mean, I don't know why you're making a face.
Because they could have cakewalked a way to win, but Kellen Moore decided to call a fucking pass.
You're missing the point. I got what they were doing. If Saquon catches that ball, the game's over.
Game's over, right?
Okay.
Right.
But he dropped it. Kirk Cousins drove down the field and won. Happens. That's the NFL. These are the greatest players, some of the greatest athletes in the world. And taking from what my mom said when I talked to her after the game, she literally said, "What was that?" And I go, "I don't know." She's like, "They look like they don't belong." Like, and she's being now. This is a woman that's like They looked like a high school team, like they didn't belong. The Eagles didn't look like they didn't belong. The 49ers didn't look like they didn't belong. We look like we did not belong on the field with any NFL team. And it's fucking embarrassing, dude. It is. And I want to say one thing, and then I'll answer your question, bro. When I knew the game was over, is when it was 21-6. They scored 3 touchdowns on their first 3 drives. We've had 2 field goals on our first 2 drives. When Dak connected with CD and we had that touchdown. Because I remember right before that, we're on a text message. It was 21-6. And Brett goes, we need to score really fast here. I go and say, no, it's too early. Let's take our time. It's too early. But guess what? Brett was right. We scored right away. And when we scored right away with CD, I was like, you know what? It's on now. The momentum is swinging because momentum always swings. And then what do? They drive down and score again. A touchdown.
He said something else, which is true. Even in these blowout games, you have a moment where you're like, okay, momentum shifting.
Exactly.
We never even had that moment. Here's what's concerning to me. I forgot what we were down when we got the ball.
I'll let you know how to fix this when you're done.
Oh, yeah. Well, go ahead, Sturch. I'll write it down.
I don't know how to fix it. I was just going to.
How do you fix it? You beat Baltimore. You beat Baltimore, and you beat them. No. It's what I'm talking about is not just a win. You come out and you have one of those games that we all watched last year where they beat up the Jets or they beat up the Patriots. And I understand that those were bad teams and they beat up the Giants. They're all shitty teams, right? That's fine. You beat up Baltimore. You will rectify a lot of this shit if you beat up Baltimore. I'm not talking about win. I'm talking about.
I don't agree. Go ahead, bro. And I think he's going to go the same route.
I'm going to give you a quote. Intelligent minds discuss issues. Average minds discuss events. Simple minds discuss people. Right? We're at issues here. Now, there are plenty of issues. I know you don't want to look at the offense and say they were helpless. Dude, we needed to score if you're an elite team, an elite offense, we needed to get a touchdown before the half or even get a touchdown when we get the ball back to even save it, right?
But
so,
Brett,
what?
The only reason why I disagree is because there's not a team in the NFL that had to deal with what they had to deal with. Like you're saying, like, oh, we just had to score here. You're asking them to score over 40 fucking points.
This is why the New Orleans game is different than the Green Bay one. Our offense was answering questions and we were in the same fucking situation. Okay? Against Green Bay. No, fucking, how many times? What was the score? Dak was driving.
Bro, but Dak threw a pick 6 and he threw a pick that led to a touchdown in the first half.
But I'm saying he still was. We were still getting in the end zone.
But when they went and prevent, dude, I meant, look, I'll tell you what was impressive when you brought up we should have scored before the half,
and we had to settle for 3.
Yeah, buddy, but there was 36 seconds left. I mean, he got us in field goal range in 36 seconds. That's pretty damn good. That's another score. And then he came out and scored again, another field goal. So that's 6 points there.
I hope I'm wrong, but you'll see it progress. If we're going to even make a run for anything, okay, we couldn't get first downs. We couldn't get in the fucking end zone.
No, you're right.
That's a bad fuck. We couldn't even. And here's the crazy part: our time of possession was, I think, a minute less. It was a minute less.
They also scored instantly on a couple of drives.
30 seconds.
That's the only reason why that was.
Well, think about it. Okay. Our time of possession, we ran 10 more plays than the Saints. They had a 1 minute more time of possession than us. And they had big plays. Okay. Does that make sense? So what do you don't see. So let's say, I think it was, we were 29-30. They were 30-30 in time of possession. Okay. We had 10 more plays. We had a 28% third down conversion.
It's just showing that the efficiency wasn't there. That's all, is what you're saying.
Even when we were down 7-0 and then 14-3 or whatever the fuck was.
You go back and look at the Patriots in 2007, because believe it or not, this is very reminiscent. The Saints, how they're starting the season, how the Patriots started. Go look at that time in possession and go look at, no one could keep up with the Patriots.
No, they went 16-0.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, they put it on Carolina, they put it on us. the time possession and all that stuff goes out the window when you're getting.
And maybe, guys, what if? Let's just, again, I'm
Look at
just
the
playing
first
devils
half.
here. What if the Saints are just that fucking good too?
I don't know yet. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I mean, look, again, you score
It could be
90
a-
points
it
in
could be
2
a
weeks. It's
combination
pretty
of
goddamn
both.
impressive.
It could be a
But I
combination
will say,
of both.
I will
agree.
say that Clarence Hill of Dillis, I can't even call it. I don't even know how to fucking pronounce it, but of DLLS said, and this is scary that it's going to come out and say this. This smells like Campo year. He goes, this has the remnants.
No,
and the
that's
odor
terrible comparison. Terrible.
of a 5-11 team.
Awful comparison.
Well, here's the thing. And again, our schedule, we have, obviously you can't overlook the Ravens, who are desperate to find a win. But after that, you got the Giants. And the Giants, and that's a short week too, by the way. That's a Thursday night.
You're not worried about that, are you, Sturch? I mean, at the beginning of the year, you had nothing but they're going to stink. They're going to be this. You're a little worried.
And I still think, but here's the deal. I still think the Giants stink, but I still think they can have us.
I don't know if they do. And I'm being serious. I don't know who the best team in the East is now, but I'll tell you right now, it's not us.
It's not after last week. No, of course not.
I mean,
if you stopped it after week one, I would say, fuck, we can run with anybody. If we have the defense playing like that, we can run with anybody.
Worried about Washington because they got Robinson is running his fucking ass off. Jalen is their quarterback is doing the same thing.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Yeah,
Jaden Daniels. I mean, it's and who knows, bro? Who the hell knows with this defense? The only thing we have on our side against the Giants is Dak. Because Dak just completely owns them. And he always played well against them. But, if he's not putting up touchdowns, like Brett's saying, and they're scoring every drive, touchdowns, but honestly, that's the whole thing. I mean, if that's what our offense is going to have to do, is put up 48 points every week because our defense can't stop anybody, then I don't know what team.
And that's what I'm talking about when I say you have to beat down Baltimore. I'm not talking about, hey, we got a 16-13 win. Great job, Aubrey.
That we have to. How? What? This is what's the issue here? Now, looking at the first half, obviously we were down. We were down 35-16 at the half. Okay, they only scored 9 points in the second half. We only scored 3.
I said that out loud. I said
so. When we're talking about forcing passes and being in prevent and trying to eat up the clock, the first half is really what matters because nobody's holding back.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at our third down conversions and even the penalties that they called again, it's a fucking atrocious performance on all sides of the ball.
Okay. So now you're saying it again. It's an atrocious performance on all sides. Atrocious. So you're saying that the offense was atrocious.
No. Okay. It's a red flag on the offense, atrocious on the defense. Okay. But if I was grading our offense, they're getting a D.
Wow.
In the first half.
That's harsh. I think that's a little harsh. But
yeah, I give him a B-.
I would say that Dak Prescott played
14-3 in the first quarter. We had to settle for 3. Then we had to settle for 3 again.
Bro, what yeah, but it's not like he's getting shut down.
Things absolutely. You have to be able to adjust on the fly, guy. Like,
we had no rushing. Our rushing game was
absolutely. Let it go.
Listen, it goes away when you're down that much.
Yeah, he won't let this go. I'm telling you, he will not let this go. He's bringing up the third down thing. He's brought it up at least 20 times as we tried to change the subject because he has to be right. That's just
it is. That's what the stats
had nothing to do with anything.
I'm telling you, Brett, specifically that's an improvement off of week 1. Just so you're clear.
Like, okay, but that's still a red flag.
No shit. I'm just telling you that's an improvement. Is what I'm saying.
We're not even talking about Dak's play. The rushing game
was fine.
So here's my point. They're up 14-3. We need to stop. We need to slow the pace down. Okay. We need to slow it down. We need to get in the end zone. If we're not converting on third, I don't even know what our fourth down conversions were. And now we're settling for field goals. Okay. Mm-hmm. Our offense cannot get in the end zone. They scored 1 fucking touchdown in 29 minutes and 30 seconds. And not only that, with the team in prevent in the fourth quarter, we didn't get one touchdown in the second half.
So just give you an idea.
Wait, Sturch. I'm sorry. You're right, bro. You're right.
It's not about being right.
No, you're right. You're right. The offense is the reason.
Right with you.
Offense was atrocious, and they're one of the main reasons why we lost.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all.
Well, you won't get off the offense. You just
because
won't.
This is a concern.
But how are we talking about them after this game? I don't understand.
Because look at the first half.
I'm looking at the first half. I'm looking at the first half.
Read the stats. Read the stats.
We were moving the ball.
Here we go. Just hear me out. Just hear it out for 1 second, okay? The Saints opening drive, 7 plays, touchdown, 80 yards, right? Bink, bank, boop, it's over, right? We come out there, respond with a field goal, okay?
Well, wait. Not only a field goal. Well, why don't you tell us how many plays that was in the drive?
13.
Thank you. 13 fucking plays, bro.
Took 6 minutes and 46 seconds off the clock, okay?
Yeah. And we needed to get in the fucking end zone. You guys are missing the point. Well,
you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
No, I'm not.
Here, okay? So after that, 13 plays, field goal. Now, 13 plays, 6 minutes off the clock. That's plenty of rest for that defense.
Yep.
And then they scored on 1 play.
Right.
Guess what? Okay, cool. Now you got to respond. 14 play drive, field goal.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So the long drives are still turning into points, but you got to cash. You got to cash, and we're not. We're getting field goals here. The following drive, 4 plays, touchdown by the Saints.
Right.
Then Dak and company respond. 4 plays, 78 yards, 1:47. I believe this is the CeeDee Lamb touchdown.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there's the CeeDee Lamb touchdown.
I just brought up before. Yeah.
4 plays, right? The following drive, Saints, 11 plays, time off the clock, touchdown.
Right.
Dallas's next drive, 5
Interception.
plays, Jalen Brooks sits down, throws an interception. Then 3 plays for the Saints, touchdown. Like, the thing is, and then here's another long 7-play drive, or not 7.
You know what? I know for a fact. I know for a fact because a lot of the listeners that hit me up, you're missing one. You still think I'm trying to blame the offense?
Okay? What? All right, you're saying
Here's
it's a
my
red
point. Here's my point.
You're saying it's a red flag. We get it. It's a red flag.
Red flag, dude. I don't even put us in the top fucking 10 offenses right now.
Okay, great. All right, let's move on. Let's go talk about something else.
What I'm saying is we have, so we're going to go, let's say Baltimore's coming into Dallas right now, and all Sturch is saying is, yeah, we need to beat the shit out of them. And what you're saying is the defense fucking sucks. I don't know. I think personally, we need to just start. I want to see Zeke in there all the time. Like, how are we going to solve this?
No. Hold on.
I didn't rushing yards that we have.
I didn't give any review on the Ravens game yet. I didn't say anything about the Ravens, so don't put words in my mouth. I'm telling you,
so you're missing what I'm saying. This whole conversation about the defense being shit and the offense being subpar with red flags, this kind of shit can be solved with a big response and a win. A big response and a win.
No.
We'll be talking next Tuesday. We'll be talking next Tuesday about the fact that, like, hey, we're back, right? Like, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do.
But how would you do it? How'd you do it? That's
Bert's question. How are we going to do that?
We fucking ran teams out the fucking field last year.
Brother, they were sorry fucking teams. And
I'm telling you right now, then if that's how you truly believe that all we did was beat dog shit teams last year,
then we are in the
longest fucking horrible season we've ever had.
Who did we beat that was good? The Eagles once. That's it. I'm serious.
The Seahawks in that slugfest.
Who?
The Seahawks, they were a slugfest.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm glad you brought that up because our defense did the same thing. And that is one game that Dak did score on every drive on because their defense is that great. But you're calling Seattle you're comparing them to Baltimore?
No. If you look at Baltimore right now, they're 0-2 and they don't look very good at all.
No, I know.
I understand. I understand in week 1. Listen, I understand in week 1 they lost by a fucking toe. I get it, right? They could have beat the Chiefs. They could have tied the Chiefs, whatever the fucking score was. But I'm saying last week when you saw them play the fucking Raiders, who are already in the Shedeur Sanders market, who don't give a flying fuck about this season, who have punted on this season, in my opinion, and they went out and beat Baltimore. Like,
Search,
who am I supposed to get scared of? I'll tell you right now, I'm scared of Lamar and I'm scared of Derrick Henry because of the obvious. The obvious is we can't stop the fucking run. That's an obvious thing. That's always been a thing. No matter how many fucking large individuals they bring on this team, we can't stop the fucking run. What do the Ravens do well? They run. If the fucking Cowboys stop the run next week, we're having a completely different conversation, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just going back to last year when we played the Arizona and the same thing. They're 0-2. Arizona's 0-2. They got Dobbs. They're throwing in the season. They're tanking. All this other shit. The reason why we were going to win that game. That's what you said last year when we played Arizona.
The Ravens aren't fucking tanking. I didn't say that.
I know, but I'm just saying though. There's something there though where it's like you're bringing up Baltimore's 0-2. I don't give a fuck if they're 0-2. Arizona was 0-2 last year.
No. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I don't throw records away. Throw records away. Baltimore is a proven.
I'll throw records away.
Contender. And you brought up Seattle, and I didn't get to finish. We didn't blow Seattle out.
I didn't say we blew them out.
Yeah, but I'm asking. But you're saying that we blew out the Jets. We blew out the Patriots. We came back. You're saying we got to blow out the Ravens. You tell me a good team that we blew out last year. That after a rebound, we couldn't blow out the Dolphins. After we got pounced by the Buffalo, actually, we lost that game.
We beat the fuck out of Philly.
That's it. I already brought up Philly, and that's a rivalry. I mean, that's a given.
You don't have
to look. I'm telling you, bro. There's no one else. There's no one else. I already know.
What about the 43-20 win over the Rams?
That okay? Did they make how were they at the time now? Without Stafford?
Shit, I'm telling you that the Rams were a good team last year.
Guys, here's the other thing that is concerning.
We got the shit kicked out of us against San Francisco.
We had no red zone touchdowns.
And I bet you're going to say that we were 28% on third down.
Hey, we had no red zone touchdowns and we had one red zone field goal.
Okay.
And watching that now we're not talking about passing. We have to get in the end zone, and we couldn't get in the fucking end zone. And that scares me, bro.
Brett, okay, but Brett, here's my counter to that, and I'll leave it at this.
No, I need to leave it, but go ahead.
Okay, but you're saying we have to get in the end zone. There's nobody on God's green earth that is saying, nah, no, we don't. Right? We definitely have to get in the end zone, right? But now in this particular game, you're asking them to get in the end zone 7 fucking times to even be remotely close to winning or even be in this game. That's impossible.
Yeah. We had to. Remember at half, I was like, dude, even if we scored 2 touchdowns and a field goal, we're still losing, right? Yeah. So we already know the defense fucking broke down, but we're in the red zone 4 times, and we need to score. Yeah. Now maybe it's the play call.
All right, so nobody's disagreeing with that, but if they score 4 times, that's 28 points. The fucking Saints had 40.
Yeah, dude. And what confuses me,
we're not winning this thing. We're not winning this game.
But you said our offense had a chance to get us back in it a couple times. Like, what does that even mean?
I'm saying if to even make it a game, we needed to score before the half, which we got 3. We needed a touchdown there, and we needed to get on the drive back, and we didn't when we got the ball.
Can I give a shout out?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I like to give a shout out to Dennis Allen for taking his fucking foot off our throat. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that. Because you guys could have put up 60 points on that fucking on that defense. So thank you, and thank the other asshole at Green Bay. Who's their coach?
LaFleur.
Yeah, LaFleur. Thanks, LaFleur. I give you a shout out for not embarrassing America's team.
Are we still American?
I think we have
the America's team, baby.
We have some serious issues, man. And I don't think we're a good team.
So game balls.
Aubrey. Give it to Aubrey. Give it to Kamara.
Done.
Nah.
180 yards.
I go Aubrey. You got to give it to Aubrey.
180 yards rushing and 4 fucking touchdowns. 180 yards.
It's Aaron Jones all over again, dude. That's exactly what it was.
But it's any running back that's above average against us. I mean, that's what it is. Hey, did you see the rookie offensive tackle? By the way, bro, they were missing 2 starters on that offensive line. Nobody's talking about that. The Saints.
Well, their tackle for one is a rookie. He actually played. He played, but his back was fucked up.
He had 0, and he was manhandling Parsons, by the way. I mean, he was manhandling everybody. So, and that's a rookie with a broken back. So, yeah, it's concerning.
A back with broken spinal.
No, man, we really, I don't know how to fix the defense, man. I don't know what to do.
Let's get into Baltimore, though.
Yeah, let's get on to Baltimore so we can put a bow on this episode before we all blow a gasket. But we all knew this was going to be a highly argumentative and aggravating podcast because of the fact of how we lost, right? You lose by a field goal, you're like, damn, we could have had them, and this is the reason why there was one play, or we had a drop pass here and it all fucking came crumbling down. No, we got our asses kicked. That's point blank, period. There is some concerns on offense, but there is a fucking hell of a lot more concerns on defense right now. And maybe it is a personnel thing. Maybe it is an IQ thing. I don't know. I always see this one guy on Twitter. His name's Mark. And he, sometimes I have to mute him because it's like he's worse than me. Like the first incomplete pass, I'm like, they're not prepared. It's over, So he's me in a nutshell, but like a little dialed up.
Search.
So he said
that you've been good this year, by the way. I meant to comment.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying because I don't feel like dying early. I really don't.
Yeah.
I got too many people dropping dead. I just feel like if the Cowboys are going to kill me, they could have killed me years ago. But what I'm saying is the Cowboy, he says this is the most unintelligent defense he's ever seen. And I used to say, like, dude, relax, it's but maybe there's something to it. Like all of us here, the Vaches of the world, the Tucks of the world, all these people that do the film breakdowns and shit, right? They can do as much as they want. In fact, I think it's detrimental to the NFL universe of community of fans to let everybody in on this all 22 shit because it makes everybody think they're an expert. And while they might be an expert and they might have solves, right? Schematically, you can't force somebody. Like, it's like, here, man, study for this test. I'll tell you right now, my biggest bugaboo, I'm a bugaboo, right? Mm-hmm. My biggest bugaboo in high school is I couldn't take a test for shit. I'm a smart dude, but when it comes to test time, I fucking failed. So maybe these players are all in the weight room and they're in the practice room and they're watching film. But when it comes to test time, meaning the game, they don't know where the fuck they're going, right? And that's a fucking concern when you have a lot of young guys and it's led by, and you said it last week, Keith, somebody like D-Law needs to be like, guys, what the fuck, right? Like, what are we doing here? Micah Parsons, I don't see him being that guy right now because I think there's a couple people on the defense that kind of roll their eyes anytime he talks because it's like, go talk about it on your podcast or some shit, right? But like, there is no voice of reason. There is no, hey, can we stop the bleeding? You saw it last week. Everybody was huddled around Zimmer and huddled around Micah, and everybody was kind of like looking around saying, oh, what the fuck is going on? But there was never an answer. So now, again, on to Baltimore, you have a chance to shut a lot of people up, or at least I'm not saying shut them up and saying, hey, we're back, we're elite, don't worry about it. No, it's to simmer everybody down. Zimmer has to simmer us because if he keeps Baltimore out of the fuck, you like that? I'm gonna make a shirt.
That's pretty good.
If he keeps Baltimore out of the end zone and keeps them to a logical, realistic score of like 16 to 19 to even give him 21 points, right? That's going to be legitimately half of what we just gave up, and that should be a recipe for a win if we fucking just play the right way, right? So, bottom line is, the way you rectify this, I know Brett asked how do we do it? I'm not on the fucking field and I'm not in the coaching room. I don't know how to do that. I'm saying what the mindset of the fan is if we go out there and put a beating on a Baltimore team who is 0-2, and I'm not saying they're a desperate 0-2 team. When the Cardinals were 0-2 last year, I expected them to be 0-2. When the Ravens coming in here desperate for a win 0-2, they're a very fucking dangerous team. You can't take them lightly, and it's going to be a dogfight. But if we can handle them and make it, and we walk out of there unscathed, no injury, Ferguson might come back. Like, we might get a little reinforcements. Maybe to Brett's point, they use Zeke a little bit more because he's a little bit more efficient on hitting holes and picking up blocks and all that shit. If we can get out of here with a win, it's going to make people just kind of calm down and relax a little bit. I'm not saying that we're going to be world beaters or a top 5 defense, but people might not go as crazy.
Do your prediction right now.
All right. My prediction right now is just based off Mike McCarthy history and of embarrassing losses like we just experienced when it was the Niners, when it was like all these other teams that just throttled us, whether it be a home or a road or whatever, it doesn't matter. Historically, Mike McCarthy has got his team prepared and they've come out swinging, and we've usually come out on the right side of things. I think they do it again. And they put up a 27 spot on Baltimore, right? And Baltimore probably does score 21-23. So we'll win this game 27-23, 27-21. We get out of here with a win, but feeling a lot better because we only let up 21 points as opposed to 40 plus.
23, actually, you said.
What'd I say?
27-23.
whatever. I said 27, 23, 27, 21, around that,
I got
hovering
you.
in that area. But I'll
Okay.
write down, if you want me to receipt it, 27, 23. I'll give Baltimore those extra.
No, I don't care. It doesn't. Go ahead, bro. What do you
That's
think?
right. That
No, you
has,
don't.
listen,
No,
that
I'm not
has
going.
to
I'm
be,
waiting for you.
guys, that has to be the result. This is what I'm saying. If we go out and lay an egg and we can't move the ball and they're scoring at will and all that shit, then we have the recipe for a very, very long.
I also think it's too early to say that too. But go ahead, bro.
Okay. Brett.
Go ahead.
No, Keith, you go.
No, you go. I already called it.
I have a feeling that you guys are
Shotgun.
going to be way different anyway. So, Keith, why don't you go?
Well, no, it's like shotgun. I'm calling going last. Go ahead, bro. You got to call
Well,
it.
you do this all the time because you think I'm going to steal from you.
See, this is why you got to watch the show and not listen to the show. Because you would know that Brett is all on board to steal his idea.
I don't know how to fix the problem. I don't even have the first clue. I agree with you, Sturch. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not on the field. In fact, my weakness as a player was I was stupid. If the Ravens would have lost, right, then I would have said, maybe. They need this win. I think we lose. And if the team plays the same way it's played 2 of the last 3 home games, I don't care about what McCarthy. I'm caring about what we saw last week. We're only either going to get better or worse. I mean, which is a generic statement to say. Hopefully, we get better. If we do have a good showing and we do, dominate on all sides of the ball against the Ravens, then I'll have a little bit of hope. I don't think that these problems are fixable, and I think it's going to be a very long season. And I think the Ravens win by at least 10 points.
Okay. All right. So, everyone's talking about it sucks that the Ravens are 0-2 coming in. It sucks that the Ravens are 0-2 coming in. Well, you know what? It sucks for the Ravens that we got blown out before they're coming in. Okay. And the reason I'm saying that is hold on. Sturch is liking it.
Yes.
The reason I'm saying that is, and I know you're saying McCarthy gets his team. Fuck McCarthy. All right. He doesn't get shit. Okay. He doesn't get anyone prepared.
All right.
These are the greatest athletes once again in our country. Okay. That are playing this sport. They were humiliated. Okay. I don't care who it is. I don't care what team it is. When you're humiliated like they were, and they're getting bashed, like I'm bashing them and everyone else is bashing them on this show and in the media, they're coming out. I don't give a fuck what the game plan is. That defense is coming out and they're coming out to play. All right. That's going to be the difference. Now, my whole thing with that is, and I'll say this again, even if they come out, whether we blow them out or whether we win by 3 or whatever the situation, I'm still not sold because that shouldn't have to happen. Okay, for your defense to come out and play that way.
Correct.
That's what scares me. Okay, but yes, I agree. Now, the one thing that I don't know why I thought this, man, and this is why I had the Cowboys, is I thought it was Sunday night until the other day.
No, it's Brady's 3rd straight fucking Cowboys game.
I get it, but it just sounds like such a Sunday night game. You know what I mean? Where I was like, it does, right? And I'm like, shit, so it's not in prime time. Like, so that kind of takes away from. I think the athletes are still going to show up and everything, but if
it
they
is the Fox game of the week, so it's like by itself in the 425 slot.
I get it, but I'm not. They're putting the Rams and Niners on by me, but I'll go somewhere. But I meant, that being said, I'm happy. I'm happy also that we're playing a great team. I'm glad we're not playing like the Washington or the Giants this week or Carolina, because I'm glad we're playing a team that everyone thinks we're going to lose to. I also like that. Okay. That right there plays in our favor. We're underdogs at home.
It opened. We were a 1.5 favorite. Maybe it shifted.
No, we're not. We're down by 1. Okay. We're not favored at home. Everyone thinks the Ravens are going to win.
Nobody's underdog, dog.
0-2. They're saying the Ravens are 0-2 after the shitty performance. Defense can't do shit. Offense can't score touchdowns. We're trash. This is so hard for me to do because they're a good team. The Ravens, I don't care if they're 0-2. They're a good team. but I think we win. And
Got
it's
a
close
score?
the whole game. I say we win, and it's not going to be easy at all. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and we will pull it off somehow.
I hope I'm wrong, but we need to get some tugs.
Of course you do.
Tugs is on the agenda. So, listen, I think to put the bow on this, I think that not enough people were talking about the absence of a Ferguson. I really think that was a definitely big thing on offense in order to score touchdowns like Brett wants. I think you probably have a better shot with him in the lineup. He scored 3 times. Ready for that? He scored 3 times against Green Bay in that blowout. Well, if that was the case, then maybe we would score some touchdowns here, but we didn't, and that's it. So maybe we get him back. Great.
Hey, Schoonamaker made some catches.
Yeah,
And also too, I think we should do this committee thing. I think we should start Zeke, let him get momentum. I still think he's got a lot in the tank.
And Dalvin Cook will not be elevated this week. I know I said in one of my Grinch texts that I was done with the Deuce Vaughn shit, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, Deuce Vaughn is only effective in a swing pass situation or a toss out to the left or right because he can't run between the tackles. He just can't.
We'll see when a hole.
I'm waiting for it. Listen, I'd love to be wrong about that.
Nobody was. I mean, we talked about Rico had the best game. Man, it was tough. But listen, I was going to say something about the Brett's what Brett has been saying about the offense. This can make him come back in the next episode and destroy us because if our defense is shutting the Ravens down, okay, you can't shut them down for long, and we know that. Our defense is not going to dominate them the whole fucking game. They're just not. They might come out first quarter, maybe some of the second, a little of the third, but there's going to be a time where Baltimore is going to turn it on, and that's where what he's talking about, those touchdowns need to come in.
I agree.
I don't want to be right.
No, I'm just saying no. That's so. In other words, what I'm trying to say, if the Ravens go 3 and out, and then we drive and kick 3 field goals, I know it's 9-0, but our defense isn't that good.
Right.
So it has to.
So you got what you're saying. What you're saying is you got to make the absolute most of every drive, like every drive, because even if you go up
like
9
or
whatever,
take any points.
It's the NFL. Like he said, these are the best athletes, but you can't have a low third down efficiency and not get in the end zone. And then if they jump up on us, which is possible, but I don't know how we would do with a mobile quarterback. I do think that we need what Sturt said earlier in the podcast. We need to just go with the best personnel. And Overshown should be starting because, you put Mike on one end, him on the other. It'll help contain Lamar Jackson, who loves to run.
Yeah.
Who's the running back again?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Justice Hill's a beast too. But Justice Hill
is shifty as fuck. Justice Hill's
guy,
very good.
bro.
So look.
So let me ask you this: if you're the Ravens and you're coming into Dallas, what would your game plan be? Because I feel like Green Bay exposed our underneath coverage, and I think, well, again, what's his name? The guy that was with the Niners that's with the Saints. I texted it earlier. You know me, I'm fucking terrible. The coach.
Oh yeah, their passing game coordinator is now the offensive coordinator for the Saints.
Yeah, he's brilliant. But we got exposed twice. So what would your game plan be? Would you just be running the ball more, or would you be passing again?
If I'm John Harbaugh, I'm just running the fucking rock until the wheels fall.
Well, and do a lot of roll
around. But both aspects of our game were trash.
We're not bringing up, and I guarantee you, if Jesse Hawley picked that Cleveland and Dallas game with you guys, he would have taken Cleveland because he said something that's sticking out right now. And what Jesse Hawley said is they're going to run right at you. They're going to see, because the Cleveland didn't do that. Saints did it. So they're going to see, they know the weakness. They're going to attack it. And that's what they're going to do. But I will say, as far as Derrick Henry goes, I know it sounds crazy. I'd rather face a Derrick Henry than a Alvin Kamara.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Because he's straight ahead.
He's a load to bring down, but he ain't going to break your fucking ankles.
Exactly. Like fucking Kamara was doing it.
We answered a turnover with a turnover. Right?
Yeah.
You got a pick, and then we threw a pick.
I know.
And
we had no, bro. I'm glad you brought that up because it was the CeeDee Lamb. Now, did you hear what CeeDee Lamb said after the game? And guarantee
I heard he was chirping a whole lot before the game.
No, all right. So after the game, he's like, I was telling Dak, I don't care if I'm double covered. I don't care. Throw me the ball. Throw me the ball. That is exactly what he did on that fucking pick. I'm serious. He's got to shut the fuck up with that. All right. I get it. You think you're the greatest player in the world. You're good.
Well, he's the greatest player on the offense. So, you want to give him the ball.
He's not Drew Pearson. He's not Michael Irvin yet. He's not Drew Pearson or Michael Irvin yet. So
he's not even Des Bryant yet. Let's all calm down.
Dude,
anyway.
The other thing too, man, when you guys were talking about this, let's see how good Purdy is. A lot of teams right now have problems. We're not the only one. Like I said, this loss was the worst loss of all of them. But there's a lot, let's give Saints their flowers, man. They ran the offense the way you should against Carolina. They blew us out, and their defense played great against both teams. Maybe they're the best team in the NFC. Who the fuck knows? Hopefully we'll see them again and rectify ourselves in the playoffs. But, a lot of teams have problems too, man. The first 2 weeks were fucking insane as far as blowouts, upsets, all kinds of shit. You had 3 games tied going into overtime at one time.
Well, I will say that, like they say, 40 is the new 30 or something like that. Don't they say that? 40?
I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 0-3 is the new 0-2. And I will even say 0-4 is the new 0-2. And the only reason I'm saying that is because not only did they add an extra game, but they add an extra playoff spot. So everyone's saying that everyone, like the Ravens they could still make the play. Dude, you can make it. We lost to a 9-9 team last year, whatever the hell they were. In the
playing 18 games according to Keith.
But I want to say one thing. I don't know how, and I get what you're doing. I love the CD, the Irv, Dez, and Drew. Beautiful. Sure. But is there any way we can fit Danny White and Don Meredith in that just in the background?
Sure. I'll put them
that's all. Week. I mean, we got to show respect to them, bro.
Just their faces, though. Not even like in action, just like a mugshot.
No, look, everyone forgets about Don Meredith. I know your dad doesn't. Your dad would tell you how great he was.
I know.
And then, of course, Danny White is the Tony Romo of the 80s. Fantastic quarterback.
You got to put a little Romo Cowboy
fan, baby. What's that, bro?
Romo's there. At the bottom.
Romo's right behind.
Oh, yeah. No, what am I talking? He's right
Romo's there, bro. Yeah, Romo's there. He belongs there. We've had some great quarterbacks.
We got some quarterbacks and their best receivers linked up right below us, and that's kind of how the scheme was. And I said, "Fuck this defense. I'm not adding them." Anyway, let's call it a day. Me and Keith got the Cowboys bouncing back. Brett wants to be wrong, but he's picking the Ravens to win by 10. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll be on the text thread on Sunday, and I'm sure Keith will throw his phone.
We got to get our running game. We got to get our running game. We got to get our running game.
Actually, I'm watching at a sports bar, so I'll have it on me.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going back to the sports bar I was at.
It has nothing to do with that.
Do that. Never go back to the same place. I can't even sit in the same spot that I was last week.
I couldn't stand the people around. People were talking shit.
That's why I don't go out to bars anymore. I can't do it.
And I was with a lot of Cowboy haters, and they still all agreed on the reffing, how they didn't call some of those pass interference. It was ridiculous.
I'm not bothering with the reffing right now. It's just we got the shit kicked out of us.
Let's go.
Dude, they left pretty bad last night.
Yeah.
Listen, it's going to be bad across the board when it's 2 weeks of football. They're going to have to work out their kinks too, and like that hip drop tackle they
gave the Chiefs.
On that they love the Chiefs. They're blowing the Chiefs. They always blow the Chiefs.
They want Taylor Swift to celebrate.
If they fucking cut the Taylor Swift one more time when she doesn't have a fucking clue as to what's happening in the game, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
I don't mind it. I like it,
dude. Okay,
it's cool, man.
For Dave Sturchio, Brett and Keith Burns, this has been another episode of the Jersey Boys Podcast. Go Cowboys, get it done. Good night, everybody.
Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boys Podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst Boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Or whatever.
How about this, Cowboys?